Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on April 10th, 2023. If you'd like to support my game, Decoding the Powerball, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There are 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, with this video, I invite you to grab some paper and play along. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is where I try to eliminate the numbers and try to get it down to the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so you can see I have 5 colors on my game card. They are red, orange, green, blue, and purple. These represent the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go to the Powerball homepage and find out what were those numbers. And they were the 11, 22, 24, 51, and 60. The Powerball number was the 18, but right now I'm only concerned about these 5 white ball numbers. Okay, so you can see I put them at the top of this list. Again, it was the 11, 22, 24, 51, and 60. And now I'm going to put some colors to it like I did here in the past. Okay, so you can see on my game card, this is for April 8th. So I need to update it to the 10th. But before I do, I need the colors for these numbers. Okay, so the 11 was red, the 22 was purple, the 24 was orange, and the 51 and 60 were both blue. So again, the 11 was red, the 22 was purple, the 24 was orange, and the 51 60 were both blue. Okay, so there was 2 odd numbers and 3 evens, so the majority is evens. 3-2. Okay, and over here, 4 out of the 5 colors came up. And now I'm going to make this 234 color code drawings I kept track of so far. And now a 4 color combination has now come up 88 times. Okay, so what I want you to focus on here is the 3 color combination. You can see that this has come up 114 times out of 234 drawings. So what that means to me is that 2 colors are not coming up the most, okay? So the strategy is try to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up and eliminate those numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I do want to point out that all 5 colors do come up. It's come up 17 times out of 234 drawings, so it comes up, but it's very rare. And 1 just came up, so I doubt 1 will be coming up anytime soon. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to update my game card. I'm going to get rid of all these colors and start from scratch. Okay, so my color code is right here. Here's the red numbers, the orange, green, blue, and whatever's left over is purple. So I'm going to transfer these 15 numbers over to the game card as red numbers. Okay, so I'll start with the 11, the 22, 24, 51, 60. Then there was the 3, 5, 9, 42, and 52. And the last line is the 16, 30, 31, 54, and 68. So I didn't repeat any of those numbers, so there should be 15 numbers, 15 red numbers on my game card. So over here I got 4 and 2 are 6, 4 is 10, 1's 11, and 4 are 15. So I'll put 15 up here. This tells me how many of each color I have on the game card. Okay, so moving on to the orange, I'm going to transfer these 20 numbers over. And I'll start with the 11, which is taken. So the 19, the 21, the 29, and the 52 is taken. So the next line down is the 4. The 9 is taken. The 24 is taken. So the 46 and 66. The next line down is the 19, which is taken. So the 26, 36, 43, and 58. And the last line is the 15, 17, 18, 47, and 57. Again, I'm going to make these orange. And I'll count how many I have. So over here I got 5 and 3 are 8. 2 are 10, 1's 11, 1's 12, and 3 are 15. Okay, so now I'd move on to the green area, then the blue, and whatever's left over is purple. But you can see I already did up the game card here, so I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, so you can see with this game card, it's all set for April 10th. And again, there was 15 red numbers, 15 orange. Turned out to be 13 green, 11 blue, and 15 purple numbers. Okay, so why is this relevant or important at all? Okay, so the reason why is because I get consistent double-digit numbers per color with my color code here. Okay, you can say, well, why is that important? Because it's consistent. And when I think of the Powerball, I think of nothing but chaos, chaotic. And when you have any kind of consistency in there, I think is a big first step. Okay, so when you have consistency, then things could get predictable. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is, again, correctly predict what color group will not be coming up. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is try to correctly guess what the majority will be. Will it be odd numbers or even numbers? Okay, so as I go back through the past here, this is supposed to be blue and blue and blue. I'm not sure why this does this, but you can see that there was a lot of even numbers coming up here. And I think that this is going to be an even number as well. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying that is as I scroll down through, here's a 4 to 1, okay? But you can see all these 3 to 2s, 3 to 2, 3 to 2, 3 to 2. Okay, so it's been a long time, and I think that this one is going to be, it's going to read 4 to 1, okay? So we'll find out what happens, but in order to do that, the next two drawings need to be the majority of even numbers. Okay, so I'm going to look for the color that has the most odd numbers and eliminate those numbers off of my game card. Okay, so let's start off with the red. How many odd numbers do I have? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 15, that's not great. Okay, and then orange, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 15, well, that's all right. Okay, now green, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 13. That's not too bad. And then blue, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not too bad either. And then purple, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 15. Okay, so this one's kind of tough here. So I'm going to have to go by a different angle, okay? And I noticed that the green numbers have been coming up a lot here. Okay, so I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawings in a row, and then there was one miss. And then there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with green again, and then one miss. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again, and then one miss. Okay, so here's another one miss. Another one miss. Okay, so I got to go down pretty deep here. To go where there's at least 2 of these with no green numbers. Okay, so it's been a while, and I'm going to predict that this line right here is not going to have any green numbers as well. I think it's going to go 2 drawings in a row with no green numbers. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the green numbers off of my game card. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully these numbers do not come up. Okay, so when I block out numbers like this, This means I'm not even going to consider these numbers when I'm picking what I think would be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so if I made the correct pick and none of these green numbers come up, then I just reduce the odds for myself, giving myself better odds at winning some kind of prize in the Powerball lottery. Okay, so I'm moving on to the individual numbers. Okay, so this is the next strategy. So maybe you heard the saying, divide and conquer. Okay, so hopefully I conquered the game card. And hopefully those green numbers do not come up. And now I'm going to look at a different angle to get rid of more numbers. Okay, so here's the winning Powerball numbers. The 11, 22, 24, 51, and 60. Okay, so what I did here is I put all the numbers at the top, all the individual numbers, okay? And I broke this down into 7 different groups, okay? So here's the first group. It's 1 through 9. Of course, this is the only group with 9 numbers, where the other 6 have 10 numbers each for 69 numbers. Okay, so I want to point out that this big square right here, this is good for 5 drawings. Okay, and the reason why I made it like that is so it's easier to count. And what do I mean by that? I'm going to go to the 20s here, okay? I'm going to point out these 3 red numbers, okay? And as I was doing my videos here, I said, well, here's a red number, and I don't see another red number for a while. I think a red number's due to come up. And finally it did with the 23. And now they're popping up like crazy now. Okay, so again, what do I mean by counting? So here it's 5. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 33 drawings. Plus another 2, so it's 35 drawings. And that's what I mean by it's easier for me to count. Okay, but since I did break this down into 5 drawings like this, I noticed that the average is 4 hits per 5 drawings. Okay, so when I see something above average, like right here, I said, hey, there's 7 hits here. I got 1 more drawing to go. Within this 5, it's way over average. I don't think any of these Powerball, I don't think any of the 30 numbers in this Powerball drawing is going to come up tonight. And I was correct for this drawing. Okay, so what I like to do now is I want to point out this 4. This 4 tells me that I hit 4 out of the 7 groups, okay? So that means I know that 3 of these groups did not have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so I like to reduce this down so you can see the whole card. And again, I look for a color that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so let's take the numbers of 1 through 9. I see the red. The orange is way down here, then green, blue, and purple. So the orange hasn't come up in 5, 10, 15, 18, 19, 20 drawings already. So let's take a look at the numbers of 1 through 9 on my game card and see if there's any orange numbers. Okay, so I got the 4. Okay, so an individual number, I mean, for the orange in group 1 through 9, hasn't come up in a little while. Okay, so maybe this orange is due to come up. I'm going to reduce this down again. Okay, so let's take a look at the numbers of 10 through 19. I got red, orange, green, blue, purple. All 5 colors are pretty close to the top, so that's really no help. Okay, so over here for the 20s, I got red, orange, green, blue, purple. Again, all close to the top. The 30s, I got red, orange, green, blue, and the purple's way down here. So it's been 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 23, 24 drawings so far. Okay, so let's take a look at the 30 numbers for the purple number. Okay, so I got the 34 and the 35, well, and the 39. Okay, so I'm just going to keep these numbers in the back of my head for right now. Okay, so where were we? The 40s. Let's take a look at the 40s. Okay, so I got red, orange. Green's way down here, so it's been 5, 10, 15, 17 drawings or so. Let's take a look at the 40s for the green, and you can see that there's no green numbers here because I got rid of all the green. Okay, so going back here, let's check out the 50s. I got red, orange, blue, green, purple. They're all right here. And then the 60s. I don't see any red. And here it is, 5, 10. It's not that far, you know, it's nothing too exciting. I like to see it in the 30 numbers and the 30 drawing range before I say, hey, I think a red number is going to come up. Okay, so the overall strategy is to eliminate numbers. Okay, so that's what I want to do here. I got 7 groups. There's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Which one of these groups is not going to come up? Okay, and I'm going to go with the teen numbers. Okay, I call it the teen, even though it's the 10, 11, 12 is in there. But these have been really hot. Okay, so I'm going to go back a while here. So here's finally 1, okay, and then it's average, 4 hits, another average, 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 above average, average, above average, above average, above average. And finally, I think it's going to cool down, okay? So I'm going to predict that there's going to be no Powerball numbers right here. And I'm going to get rid of the numbers at 10 through 19 off of my game card. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, and the 18, 19. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so again, if I made the correct picks here, and none of these blocked out numbers come up, then the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers still have to be left here on my game card as a highlighted number. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next strategy. Time to divide and conquer again. Okay, so this I call my groups. Okay, I call this group 4. I also have group 6, group 8, and group 10. And the reason why I call this group 4 is because I divided the 69 numbers into 4 different color groups. Okay, so I'll show you how this works. So again, the 11 came up. That's in red. So I'm going to put a 1 here, and that represents that 11. And then the 22 and 24 were both in blue. And then the 51 and 60, I had 1 in each. So hit all 4 groups. The majority of the numbers are over here to the left side. So I'm going to keep this for red. If the majority of the numbers were over here to the right side, I would color this for green. Okay, so the reason why I do that is when I see something like this that's been really green, well, I look at it as like flipping a quarter. You know, how many times can it come up heads before it comes up tails? You know, there's only red and green here, so when I see a bunch of green, I say, well, when's it going to come up red, you know? So this is why I have just even numbers like group 4, group 6, group 8, group 10, so I can have the majority on either the left or right side. Okay, so again, the strategy here is to use this information any way that you can, okay? But I like to try to eliminate numbers. So I try to pick where the 0 is going to come up. So here's a 0, okay? 2 drawings ago. So if I could have correctly guessed that none of these blue numbers were going to come up for that drawing, I could have eliminated all these numbers and gave myself a much better chance at winning some kind of prize in the Powerball lottery. Okay, so going back. Now, I have Powerball number 2 and Powerball number 3 as well. So I'm going to point that out. This is Powerball number 2. And I'm going to update this as well to give you a visual. Again, it was the 11. in red, the 22 in green, and the 60, and then the 24 in orange and the 51 in blue. Okay, so I hit all 4 color groups, and the majority of the numbers are over here to the right side, so I'm going to color this for green. Okay, so here, if there was 3 hits in a row, and this is why I keep track of every 3 drawings like this, okay? So I color this a dark red. If there's just 2 hits and a 0, I color it a little lighter red. And if there's 2 zeros, I color it a light blue. Now if there's 3 zeros, then I color it a dark blue. Let's see if I get one here on the next one. Right here. Okay, so again, I see a lot of green here. I'm thinking that this next number is going to be red, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here to the left side. And this blue is looking pretty good. Okay, so the thing that I want you to notice here is that there's no numbers at the top. Okay, and then here with this Powerball number 1, I got 2 numbers at the top ready to be add color to it. And then Powerball number 3, I'm going to update this one as well. Again, it was the 11, which was yellow, and then the 24 was green, the 22 was orange, and the 5160 were both blue. Okay, so that means there was no winning Powerball numbers in the red area or the purple. So I hit 4 color groups. The majority is on the left side, so I'm going to color this for red. Okay, so now I got 1 number at the top. Okay, so again, this is why I keep track of every 3 drawings, and this is why I have 3 different angles of this, so I could always have one with 2 numbers at the top. Okay, because this is the best advantage, because now I'm going to be putting colors to it. I get to use some tools here. Okay, so this will tell me how many blue marks there are. Okay, so here's a blue mark, and this is the only one that can be a blue mark here. So if there's going to be a blue mark, it's going to be this blue, okay? And then I get to use this over here to say, okay, what color is it going to be? Is it going to be the majority to the left side or to the right side? And the big thing about this is that I call this a triple hit. And triple hits come up a lot. You can see that I only have a couple of zeros here where a triple hit didn't come up. But it usually comes up, okay? So what do I have for a triple hit option? I got the red, orange, and green. I think that one of these is going to be a triple hit. I think that this is going to be a green number, so I think the majority will be on this side, and I'm kind of liking the orange. Okay, so I really think a number, or maybe even 2 or 3 numbers, will be coming up in this orange area. Okay, so I'm going to be moving on. I'm going to stick with this Powerball number 1 because it has the 2 numbers at the top. Okay, so this is something that I look for as well. Bunch of dark red in a row here, so it's been 3, 6, 9, 15, 18, 21, 23, 25 drawings in a row that one of these green numbers have come up. Okay, so this represents 16 and 1 is 17 numbers. Okay, so that means that there's 52 other numbers out there divided in these 3 colors. So how long can this go before the 5 winning Powerball numbers get distributed between the red, orange, and blue and no green? Okay, so I'm going to go for this one right here. You can see that these dark red runs, they don't last forever here. So here's 4 or 6, and up here, here's another 6. Do you see what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then finally it missed. And I'm hoping that history is going to repeat itself. And the 0 is going to be right here. Okay, so I'm going to mark this blue, saying that I'm going to get rid of all these numbers. And this way, when I go to update this, I can look at it and say, hey, I got this correct. None of these numbers came up. Or one of them came up and burned me. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all these green numbers off of my game card. Okay, so you can see that that's pretty big. Okay, so if I'm correct with my guesses here, then I just really reduced the numbers for myself. Okay, just giving myself a better chance at winning some kind of prize, some kind of good prize. Okay, so again, I don't pick very often from this group 4. I mainly try to use it for the triple hits. But if I could pick one correctly, then it's really going to help out a lot. Okay, so I'm just looking here. Looking to see what's been going on. I see lots of green. And I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number, which I believe the majority of the numbers will be on this side. Okay, so I'm going to move on. Okay, so I'm looking. I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number. And I believe the hit will be over here in the red. So I believe that one of these red numbers will be coming up. So I'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Okay, so for this one, okay, so what I'm looking at here is the red area, okay? And the one thing I notice about this, it's never doubled up or tripled up in the blue for the blue marks. Okay, so all the other 3 color groups have had it happen at least once or twice. Okay, so this is an opportunity that this could be another blue mark right here. And you can see that it represents all odd numbers, and I think the majority of the numbers are going to be even. Okay, so I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to get rid of all the odd numbers off the top side. So I'll get rid of the 35, 45, 47, 53, 55, 61, and 65. Plus the 39, 41, 43, 49, 51, 57, 59, and that's it. But that's huge, right? I really knocked out a bunch of numbers, but it's only huge if I guess correct, right? Okay, so I'm moving on. Okay, my last option card. Take a look. Okay, so I see a bunch of green through here, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe the majority will be on this side. And I'm thinking it's going to be the blue. And you can see that it's all even numbers, so I kind of like that. So again, I'm going to keep an eye on that. Okay, so I have an overview as well. One thing that I look for is a 7-0. That means that all 7 option cards in the red area had a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so here this tells me that there was no blue marks right here. This 3 tells me that there was 3 zeros total. And this 3 tells me that there was 3 7-0s. And over here, this tells me that there was 13 triple hits in the last drawing. Well, in the last 3 drawings. For this area right here. Okay, so that's how you read this. So I'm going to move on to group 6. Now, group 6, I have the advantage of 6 color groups and only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So I know that one of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. And as you look over to the side here, you're going to see lots of 3s and 4s, which means there's usually at least 2 of these color groups with no winning Powerball numbers to it. Okay, so let's take a look here. A triple hit happens a lot as well. And I have a green and a purple for an opportunity. So I'm just looking here. I'm looking. Kind of like this green to have a hit to it. Kind of like in this 4. Okay, kind of like this orange to have a hit as well. Okay, but again, I want to try to correctly pick what group will not be coming up. So again, I think that this is red, so I believe the majority will be over here. I have a feeling this green is going to hit. So I'm looking at either the purple or the yellow to have the 0 to it, or maybe even both. I don't know, the yellow kind of looks a little bit hotter. It looks like it's been a lot more hotter actually, so I think I'm going to move on. I want to find something better. And this is why I gave myself so many option cards, so I could cherry pick through these things and give myself the best chance possible. Okay, so with this one, again, a 000 comes up here and there. But I do have 2 000 opportunities. And one thing I notice is like a 000 will come up twice, like right here. Here it happened 3 times. Over here, here's another 2 times. Okay, so I'm looking at this purple. And you can, I was about to say, you can see that the 000 has never doubled up, but it has. It even tripled up. So okay, so I'm going to move on from this one as well. See what else I got. Okay, so I'm looking at this red over here. You can see that, you know, the double dark red, but besides that, I'm thinking that this red is going to be a hit. There's that 4 again. Again, I see all this 000 hasn't had a like a 1 or 2 or whatever in a while. And I think I'm going to go with this one with the purple. So I'm going to get rid of the 35 to the 65, and then the 57, 58, 66, 67. So I'll get rid of the 36, 38, 56, and the 58, 66. I'll get rid of those numbers, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so I see a bunch of zeros over here, and I do have a 000 opportunity. And I think I'm going to go with this one as well. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 20, 14 through to 16. Those numbers are all gone. And then I'll get rid of the 35, 44, 61, 63. So I'll get rid of the 44. And then I'll get rid of the 49, 59, 69. You can see those numbers are all gone. Okay, so I'm getting down there. So moving on, divide and conquer again here. Again, I got a bunch of zeros here. I got a 000 opportunity. Bunch of red that this has been really hot. I get very few dark green lines here, which means all 3 of them were green. So maybe this is due to be green, and the majority of the numbers will be over on this side. So I'm going to go with this orange. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 8, and then the 36, 37 all the way down, then the 48, 58, 66. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 8, the 46, 54, 64, and the 48. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so I'm just wondering where I got rid of the 4. Okay, so let me go back. Oh, I know when. Okay, I know when I got rid of the 4. When I got rid of that whole thing. Okay, so I guess I'm back up to speed here. Okay, so I got 2 more of these to go. Again, with the 000s, Not as long as those other ones, so I'm not sure if I like this one. So I'm going to leave that one alone. Okay, so here I think that this is going to be a red number. And I'm kind of liking this red area. Oh, there's the 4 again. Okay, so moving on. Okay, my last option card. I got a 000 opportunity again. And I think I'm going to take it. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 61 to the 65. So I'll get rid of that 62. And then the 40 to the 67. And I don't believe the 48 or 57 is still there. So I'll get rid of the 40. And hopefully that 40 number does not come up. Okay, so I'm getting down there. I got 4, 8, 10, 13, 14 numbers. Okay, so moving on to group 8. Okay, so the thing that sticks out the most to me is this orange, because it's so red. I'm thinking that this is going to be a 0. And looking at this, I do believe that this is going to be a green number, so I believe the majority of the numbers will be on this side. Okay, so actually, yeah, I think I'm going to go with the green instead. Okay, so you can see the 000 way down here. Or all the other colored groups, you know, they're fairly a lot higher anyway. So I think that this is going to be a 000. So I'll get rid of the 27 to the 34. So I'll get rid of the 31 and 34, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Again, I do have a 000 opportunity here in the red. But I kind of like this a little bit better. Look at all these single blue marks. And I think that this is going to double up, and it will if a 0 comes up. So I'm going to go with this yellow. So I'll get rid of the 6 to the 67. So I'll get rid of the 6 and the 24. Okay, so I believe that the majority of the numbers will be evens. So how many even numbers do I got? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for odds, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. Okay, so I'm down to 10 numbers. Okay. So this is why I believe in this game, is because one time, actually a couple years now, I reduced the numbers down to 10 numbers just like this, and the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers landed within these 10 numbers. So I only got 2 correct that day, but I looked at it and said, wow, I gave myself a much better chance of winning a really good prize. Okay, so again, this is why I believe in this game. So I'm moving on. Again, I have a 000 opportunity here in the red. I was just seeing if these 000s doubled up like over here. It's never doubled up. Has the opportunity to double up. I'm going to go for it. Although I don't believe that there's any numbers left. Okay, the 52 wasn't one of them, so I'm moving on. Okay, so I got a couple of 000 opportunities. I got the blue and the green. But I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be a red number, so I think I'll steer clear from that, and I'm going to move on. Okay, you see a bunch of red over here. I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number, which I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. Unfortunately, I really don't see anything that I like, so I'm going to move on to number 6. Okay, so the red and the turquoise really catch my eye here. I see a lot more red than green, so I think that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. So I think I'm going to go with this orange for 000. And we'll see if the 39 is there. No, nothing there. Okay, so moving on. Off to number 7. Okay, I do have a 000 here in the orange. It has doubled up once right here. Kind of thinking that this is going to be a green number, so I kind of like this orange. Okay, so let's see if the 41 or... No, nothing there. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so I got the triple in purple. Also kind of like this red over here. Big old green mark here. So I think that this is going to be a red number actually. So I believe the majority will be over here, and I'm kind of liking this purple one right here for 000. Okay, the 14, 23, 31. We'll see if there's anything there. The 23, we'll get rid of that one. And hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so moving on, I got 9 of these, so this is my last option card. I'm looking at the red area, and I'm kind of liking to see this a triple hit. So I got the 3, 4, there's that 4 again. 7, 8, 17, 41, 42, 51. I got the 7 and the 42. So I think I want to hang on to those numbers here. Okay, I'm kind of liking this blue to have a 000 to it. And I see a bunch of red here. I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority will be on this side. So I'm going to go with this blue. Let's see if there's anything there. Okay, so I know that there's nothing there. I know there's nothing there. The only one could be is the 43. And that one's gone as well. Okay, so that's it for Group 8. And now I'm going to move on to Group 10. Again, this one's the best odds. There's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, so I know that 5 of these option cards, or 5 of these color groups, cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, and since there's so many, 000 comes up a lot. Here's 10 out of all these drawings. Okay, so I got a 000 opportunity, the purple, the pink, and the brown. The 000 is way down here in the pink, where you can see that all the other 000s are, they're pretty high up. Except for this pink one way down here. Okay, so I'm going to go with the pink. And I will get rid of the 32, I think. And the 32's not there. Okay, so moving on. I have 3 of these option cards. And again, a 000 comes up a lot, so I got the red, blue, purple, and light blue. Okay, so I see a lot more red than green, and I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number. So I believe the majority will be on this side. And I'm kind of liking this blue. I think I'll get rid of the blue. 10, 12, 20, 30. Then the 40, 58. Nothing's there. Okay, so moving on. Again, 000s. I got the purple, turquoise, and that's it. Okay, so you can see a bunch of red over here, and you can see a pretty good red streak here in the orange, which is pretty hard to do with all these numbers. So I'm going to go with the orange. And I'll get rid of the 28, 30. And then I get rid of the 50, 58, 60, 68. And the 46 is already gone. So I'll get rid of 2 of them. I'll get rid of the 60 and the 68. Okay, so I'm down to 7. I need to get down to 5. I like the 7 and I like the 42, so we'll go from there. Okay, so now I'm going to do the overview. And what I look for here is a 03 that hasn't come up in a while. Because you can see that they, for some reason, they just stay right to the top. Except for this red. I'm thinking this pink is going to double up, like right here. So there's one pink. Nine, 16, 31. Okay, I'll get rid of the 9. Okay, so here I got the 533. And I'll get rid of the 5, and that will bring me down to 5 numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go with the 7, the 25, 26, 42, and 52. Okay, let's check out the Powerball number. Okay, the 18 was the Powerball number, so I'm going to update this. Okay, so there's 26 red numbers in the Powerball lottery. So over here on this side, I just divided the numbers in 2. So if you see a low number 1 to 13, that's blue. If you see a high number 14 to 26, that's red. And over here, I divided the numbers into odds and evens. So if you see a red number, that's odds. If you see a black number, that's evens. Okay, so let's start on this side first. See, what I notice is a bunch of single, except for right here. I'm thinking that this red is going to double up. Okay, so I think it's going to be a high number. And then over here, I'm thinking that this is going to be another black number right here. So I think it's going to be a high even number. Okay, so it's 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26 are the numbers I'm only concerned about. Okay, so I'll probably go with the oldest one. Okay, so here's the 14, the 24, the 16, the 26, the 22, and the 18. I believe that just leaves the 22, and here that is right here. Actually, I remember seeing the 20. There's the 20. Okay, so I believe the 20 is the oldest one. And I'm going to go with the 20. Okay, so again, I'm going to go with the 7, 25, 26, 42, 52, and the Powerball number 20. So I think Sherlock Holmes said it the best when he said, it's a matter of deduction. So if, and that's the big word here, if these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 highlighted numbers have to come up. Okay, so let's go over the odds. Okay, so to get all 5 white ball numbers and the red ball, the grand prize, which is worth $192 million. The odds are winning it are 1 in 292 million. Okay, my game is geared up for mostly the white balls. Okay, that was my goal. You know, I love to win the grand prize, of course. But just to get the 5 white balls correct, the odds are 1 in 11,688,000. Okay, so in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay, so I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to do. So another great prize to win would be 4 white ball numbers and a red ball. That pays $50,000 plus the power play if you play it. And you can see the odds are just about 1 in a million. Okay, so for a budget, I like to play responsibly. Okay, so I spent $3 on the Powerball per drawing. Okay, so there's 3 drawings per week. There's 52 weeks in a year. If you add it all up, I would spend $468 per year playing my game, Decoding the Powerball. Okay, so in closing, I just want to thank you for watching. Again, you can support my game through my Patreon page at patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. And if you'd like to give me any feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, there's no "the" in there, so it's just decodingpowerball@gmail.com. And as always, with $192 million on the line, I want to wish you the best of luck with your picks.